first of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and tell me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find, but I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys if they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's staying safe. Well, actually, it's Wednesday where I'm at. But I had the video recorded as supposed to start at 10, but that's okay. But welcome to season 4, episode 8 of the podcast. Hope everyone's off to a great week. Hope everyone had a great and safe Halloween weekend. Welcome to the month of November. I cannot believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it's the month of November already. Before we get into the video, there's a few things I want to say up front. Please forgive me. Past couple of days, I just needed to have like a mental break from life, and I haven't got an opportunity to upload the episodes on the Anchor via Spotify. So please forgive me. I'm still working on that. Just be patient with me. The last episode, I do apologize of the way that episode ended. Actually pressed the end on my phone, so that was kind of weird. I reached out to Rashard Mulligan, hoping to have him back on the podcast at some point for this season. This episode, talk about a couple of things. Recap the weekend, football, week 8, Wizards versus the Hawks. We play the Raptors today. The Atlanta Braves won the World Series. That's why I held off recording. Besides going live, and some things around the NBA, WNBA. I'm gonna talk about that, and then I have a kind of something that's not as sports related, but I think it's important to talk about. Very important. Excuse me, to say it that way. So if you're enjoying the content you're seeing, you want to see more, be sure first hit that thumbs up. Consider that subscribe button, with notification bells on, and we're going to get into it. So real quick, I'm going to start with the Baltimore Ravens. This week we're on a bye week. Nothing happened in Baltimore land for the Ravens. We were pretty much quiet at the trade deadline. We're going to get some reinforcements back from injury. Chris Westry supposed to be activated off the IR. Nick Boyle is supposed to come back at some point. Derek Wolfe. Malik Harrison was hit by a stray bullet in Cleveland. Supposedly he was at some gathering downtown Cleveland. And according to the reports, the injury is not life-threatening. He came back to Baltimore yesterday. So just thoughts and prayers with him. But he most likely will not play for a few weeks. Probably 2 to 3, depending. I think this was good for us for the bye week. Much needed rest with this team, particularly going into now the second half of the season. Everyone needs to get healthy. Like Sammy Watkins too is another one. So week 9 back home, we played against those Minnesota Vikings, who we'll get into in a little bit. So a little disappointed we didn't go out there and try to see what we could get. I still think the AFC North is ours for the taking. We just need to be careful because we really can't really afford injuries. I mean, in terms of defensively, we don't have Marcus Peters. Brandon Williams has been disappointing. easily disappointing. Be great to have Sammy Watkins back. The running game hasn't picked up where it should be. I'd say pretty much the consistent one is Latavius Murray. Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell are not what they used to be. Tyshawn Williams isn't getting opportunities on the ball. And I think that they're just kind of taking it back because he's just not from what I saw in preseason. So, we'll see what happens. But that's all that happened with Baltimore. Next, the Denver Broncos defeated the Washington football team. Well, another loss. First and foremost, let me start by saying I want to give a shout out to Sean Spencer because we kind of commentated the game a little bit, and we saw some things. I saw some things that stood out to me. What I saw coming in this game, once again, on third down, we struggled. We were the first end zone opportunity we had a first down within their own 11. We went backwards and we didn't score. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. Denver converted 7 of 13 on third down. We converted 5 of 14. The game overall offensively was just disappointing. McKissick had, again, the run game was virtually nowhere to be found. 3 carries for 10 yards, 8 receptions for 85 yards. DeAndre Carter had 3 catches for 51 yards. Landon Collins, who, oh my gosh, who's finally showed a damn pulse, had 8 tackles and 1 sack. But let me get back to the red zone issues. Denver helped us try to get back in the game. Denver, they have terrible clock management. We started at their 24 with 21 seconds left and 2 timeouts. Ladies and gentlemen, what did we do? With 4 plays and went back 6 yards.
Relationship with your
Oh
children.
my God.
That can't happen. What else happened? The last those last series of seconds in the fourth quarter, where it was Melvin Gordon who got jinxed. He fumbles the ball, and yet we still don't take opportunities for that. Defensively, we held Denver to 273 yards, which is great. But ladies and gentlemen, we fought a 2-6 on the season. I'm not jumping off the ship, but I look at the rest of the schedule for Washington. Like, for example, let's pull it up. Some of these games are winnable. Like, we've got Tampa Bay on Sunday, Carolina, Seattle, Oakland, Dallas, Philadelphia, New York. I mean, and also too, I got to take also into consideration injuries have really plagued us. Chase Roullier is on the IR with a fractured fibula, but there's just more holes in Washington. But I'm sorry, the Washington football team is not going to make the playoffs. Guaranteed. I'm sorry. There's just no continuity. There's nothing to build off on. Like, I mean, the way Dallas is playing. I mean, I think Washington can turn it around, but the hole is deeper. I think it's just beyond these 8 games, and it's clearly showing on the field to me. I'm not trying to bash us. It's just let me move on. And unfortunately, I got to talk about this team. Hold on.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming, or act like I know this was coming, because I did it.
Cowboys defeated the Minnesota Vikings 20-16. The Vikings had this game won, but Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, horrible clock management, cost them the game. Kirk Cousins had 184 yards. This was actually his first game of the season where he's thrown under 200 yards. Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott, that last drive of that game-winning drive, sealed the deal. Also, too, defensively, the Cowboys are nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking like this because I can't stand Cowboy fans. I really can't. Dak Prescott, I was surprised. Shout out to Nick Rosario. I was with them Sunday on their show, and they were like, no, he didn't practice at all with the first squad. It was Cooper. The Dallas Cowboys are going to protect their investment by any means necessary. They're not going to rush him out there, and I understand that. Dallas's special team, I think, might be their flaw. I'm not going to go as far as saying the defense is great. The defense is good. But, ladies and gentlemen, like, think about this. Look at their schedule of who they played. They've played crappy teams. Like, they're going to go up against I know at some point they're going to go up against Kansas City, who has arguably the worst defense in the league. Yes, Minnesota only converted 7% of their third downs. They contained Dalvin Cook under 100 yards. Kirk Cousins can't throw the ball 42 times because he has to play catch-up. The Minnesota Vikings had this game won, but once again, Mike Zimmer and that coaching staff failed to make the adjustments. Tyron Smith. Without him, they looked a little different. Well, since he's been back, they look better because my personal opinion, he's the glue of that offensive line. So with that being said, Dallas Cowboys.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
It's not that I listen. The team, I don't have anything against the team. It's the fan base. Listen, when these guys win, they're all on your face. How about them Cowboys? When they lose, or when they're lose a game or they're not making the playoffs, you can't find them anywhere. It just, I can't stand Cowboy fans. I really can't. I really can't. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That really just kind of brought my mood down. Then we're going to go into the Monday Night Football game. My guarantee was almost correct, but said the New York Giants choked, in my personal opinion. Final score, ladies and gentlemen, was 2017 Chiefs. Well, Daniel Jones, I believe, is what, 3? He was 3-0 on the road. He's never been to Arrowhead. That was his first game. The Chiefs all game struggled to move the ball. All game. I think we're averaging under 5 yards per play. They struggled. The mistakes that New York made, once again, cost ourselves this game. Patrick Mahomes I saw a difference in this game. When I mean a difference, I think in terms of his management, he took what the defense gave him. Tyreek Hill was targeted quite a bit. Travis Kelce, for some reason, I don't know what it was. Maybe Patrick Mahomes forgot where Travis Kelce was on the team. And I actually won in fantasy because I played against somebody that had him on the squad, and I pulled out a victory in fantasy football. But neither here nor there. But the Chiefs' defense, to me, has to get some credit in this as well. When particularly Chris Jones in those last minutes with that sack. Kansas City secondary not letting Jones push the ball down the field. I got to give the Giants some credit. They never quit. They were never out this game. But if you take away the offside penalty, Daniel Jones throwing that pick and taking that sack, just untimely mistakes, penalties. That one with the taunting, which, ladies and gentlemen, I think with the way the league is cracking down on these penalties, it makes no sense. If he's not offsides when he passes on an interception, that's a game changer. That taunting penalty, that's a game changer. Patrick Graham, defensive coordinator for Giants, they stepped up all game. Jason Garrett, I don't care what anybody has to say, and I've said this since he was in Dallas. He's too damn conservative, and he should have been aggressive going against that defense, especially on third down. I didn't see that. The Giants, They're going to be at home against the Green Bay Packers. And then the Giants, they go back home against the Raiders, who are also coming off a bye week. That was how Monday Night Football was. The Giants had this game won, but untimely mistakes and not being aggressive. That's what cost them. Okay, week 8. Week 8 recap. So let's go down the list. We'll start with the Jets and Bengals. So the final score was Jets 34, Bengals 31. That was an interesting game. Mike Wright threw for shocked me. After Zach Wilson getting injured, threw for 405 yards with 3 touchdowns. Everybody came in after Baltimore. After the Baltimore game where they kicked our ass, and we're saying, "Oh, they're the best team in the AFC." This was an opportunity to prove that, and I think they got cocky. I'm not saying that win against Baltimore was a fluke, because it wasn't. Because I've already spoken on Baltimore on the issues with Baltimore that we lack. But they got punched in the mouth. Now, say what you want, that call on Mike Hilton, the helmet to helmet. Yes, the league is trying to get away from that, but in that moment, what do? Do you call it, or do you just let it play out? So that was an interesting game, but it was actually really enjoyed. It was actually a good game to watch. I'm not going to lie. It really was. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Bears. Final score, 33-22. Couple things from that game. They finally have utilized Justin Fields in ways he should be used. The upside is there. It is. Allen Robinson. Maybe it's the offense. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know what we're waiting for. I really don't. San Francisco, their defense is not what I thought it was. I just don't see it. No disrespect. I think they have the pieces to be a playoff team, but I don't see it. The next game, the Eagles beat the Lions 44-6.
Relationship with your
Oh
children.
my God.
So, wow. Henry, we'll get into that, ladies and gentlemen. In the last video, I guaranteed that the Lions would get their first win against the Eagles, and I was wrong. The Lions just aren't that good. There's more than just Jared Goff. I don't think Jared Goff, in my personal opinion, I think he is a good quarterback. They don't have a lot of weapons. They play the Steelers. I think Detroit's going into a bye week, week 10. So, sorry, Detroit. The Panthers beat the Falcons. Matt Ryan got his hand stomped on, and that was pretty gruesome. Calvin Ridley is not playing. He's taking a mental break from the game for a little bit. I kind of am a little confused about that. Mental health is real, but I'm not sure where that's coming from. I'm not. Maybe that's just like a sense of I don't want to be in Atlanta anymore. I don't know. Kyle Pitts is, I think, still picking it up. These two teams combined for 260 yards in passing. Sam Darnold is still not Sam Darnold he was the first 3 weeks. And Matt Ryan is also struggling. So the Buffalo Bills defeated the Miami Dolphins. I was actually kind of expecting a blowout. Final score was 26-11. Not sure what happened. It's actually, fun fact, the lowest scoring game since they drafted Josh Allen. Maybe this was one of those, okay, Miami kind of played physical, and Buffalo just, I don't know, kind of was like half asleep at the wheel. And I get it, Tula's not the guy. Especially in the last drive when he threw the interception, do it right in coverage. I know Devontae Parker came back from a hamstring injury. He had 85 yards on 11 targets. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that game. Y'all let me know your thoughts. The Steelers beat the Browns. I called that. Baker Mayfield was coming in this game injured. Odell, and right now the Cleveland Browns are a hot mess. I think they're one of the most disappointing teams in the league right now. Odell Beckham Jr., I know he's dealing with injuries as well. Kareem Hunt is on IR. Nick Chubb's coming back off injury. Right now, the Browns, man, I just don't see what everyone was saying. I just don't. The Titans versus the Colts. Final score, 34-31. Carson Wentz.
Relationship with your
Oh
children.
my God.
Man, Carson, man, oh boy. Like, the pick six you threw in the last 90 seconds of that game, and you threw with your left hand, and then to make matters worse, you threw another interception in overtime for them to win the game. Bro, I've come to his defense. Frank Wright can't fix that. I'm sorry. He can't fix that. I'm sorry. It really can't. Derrick Henry also too, in this injured, got hurt, and that's their identity. Looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season with a foot injury. So I know they signed Adrian Peterson. Michael Pittman is still the number one target. The Rams beat the Texans 38-22. You know, Rex Burkhead and Scottie Phillips, since Mark Ingram got traded, they were actually got a bulk of the touches today. David Johnson and Phillip Lindsay aren't getting as many snaps on the ball. But the Texans stink. We know what they are. They stink. The Rams also, too, have Von Miller. And we'll get in that in a little bit. So, there's your Super Bowl winner, ladies and gentlemen. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-7. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett had good games. James Robinson got hurt with an ankle injury. They were down 24-0 going in the fourth quarter. The Jacksonville Jaguars are another team. They stink. There's nothing to build off on. Trevor Lawrence was one of my rookie of the year one of my rookie of the year candidates, but the way that the team's built, no. And also, I think if you had a different coach, it'd be a different story. The Patriots defeated the Chargers 27-24. Not sure what's going on with the Chargers. Damian Harris, I wish I had picked up in fantasy football. He's getting a lot of goal line opportunities, and I like that, which is really good. Austin Eckler is no joke, but Justin Herbert, offensively, they're just making mistakes, and I'm not sure if it's. I mean, every you're going to have a period of where you go through a funk, but I would think coming off the bye week, I thought would have helped fix those things. So we'll see the Chargers pick it up. The New Orleans Saints beat the Denver Broncos. Yes, he threw 375 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he also threw the pick six. Mark Ingram was back, so he had to share snaps with Alvin Kamara, which Alvin, particularly when it comes to the passing game, it can be frustrating at times. But I think it was good for them to have a Nathan, who's your fantasy football QB? Right now it's Justin Herbert. I had Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Derek Carr. Tampa Bay. Again, I can't speak enough on when you're a championship team. Yes, they kept all the same pieces, but it's hard to repeat because everyone plays you a little tougher, and some guys, especially this is my personal opinion, when they get that contract, it's a little tougher. Guys don't play as tough. For example, just looking at this game, but the Saints too, I gotta give the Saints credit. They played the Buccaneers tough. And also too, Jameis Winston's out. He has an ACL injury. Doesn't say how long he's going to be out. They won the game with Mike Glennon. They're down Taysom Hill and now Jameis Winston. So that was week 9 of the season. Oh, I know. I was late on the comment. I wanted to mention it while you were talking about the Chargers. No, I know. Real quick around the league. Henry Ruggs III has been released by the Oakland Raiders following a DUI charge. He will face 2 felony charges in the crash. Unfortunately, and sadly enough, there was another driver who passed away, as well as her dog, according to multiple reports. According to the reports, the passenger, along with Henry, was high speed and rammed a Toyota RAV4 on a thoroughfare in a residential area around 3:40 Tuesday morning. When the police, he showed signs of impairment. According to the Nevada law, probation is not an option, and for a conviction on a charge of DUI causing death. So he could potentially serve anywhere from 2 to 20 years in a state prison. The possible sentence, from what the article I read, is 1 to 6 years, but if he could get probation. He was a number 1 first round pick out of Alabama, 12th overall. Guys, I thank you, Sean. Noah Fan is on COVID list. Wow. He just played yesterday too. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't drink and drive. Please don't. I just don't understand. You know, you as a folk, just anybody. If you're going to go out, have a night out, have a designated driver. I mean, we got something called Lyft, Uber. You know, be smart. Don't risk your life or others like that. Because now look, his career is could be potentially over. I mean, I've seen Dante Starworth come back in the league. I mean, we gotta have some. We gotta pray for him, and also too the woman that died in the accident. But we got to be smarter than this. I was surprised that the Raiders actually released him. I thought they would have put him on like the reserve and put him on the commissioner's exempt list. I hope that he can learn and grow from this. I really do. It just it sucks. It really does. The trade deadline, couple trades did happen. The Chiefs traded Laurent Duvernay Tardif to the Jets and got Dan Brown in return, and also got $1 million in cap space. Jalen Smith was cut after 2 games by the Packers. Noah Fant for the Denver Broncos was put on the COVID list. The Jalen Smith thing, that's a bit weird. Interesting. I mean, I will say this actually. He actually has struggled to me. With the games that I saw, he definitely has failed to make an impact. Also, too, I just don't think he fit Green Bay's system. Odell Beckham Jr. was not traded by the Cleveland Browns. His dad made a whole 11-minute video showing that Baker's not passing him the ball. You know, sometimes we have to ask this question. Is it the system that's not making him great, or is Odell not the same player? Like, Odell could produce, but I just don't think he's the same player. I mean, he's missed a lot of games with his tenure in Cleveland. He's missed a lot of games. And on top of that, now he's dealing with shoulder injuries. When your head coach is saying, I got to do a better job of getting him involved in the game, I think that says more about coaching Baker Mayfield. And I think it says more. That's just my personal opinion. You know, a lot of, you know, of course, you're going to hear people say different things, or no one's going to trade for Odell. I don't know. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Von Miller was traded to the Los Angeles Rams.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
I kind of low-key want to throw up. I really do. Let's go over the trade. So I think it was a couple draft picks. And then they're already talking about they want to extend them already. Like, oh my God. And they traded Kenny Young. And that's the second time he's involved in a big trade like that. You remember a few years ago, we traded Kenny Young. He was a former Raven. We had traded him to Los Angeles for Marcus Peters. Yeah, for exchange for a second and third round pick of next year. Denver is going to pay $9 million to $9.7 million for the remainder of the season, and actually he's supposed to be a free agent after this year. Wow. Okay. So now you've got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and Von Miller.
Relationship with your
Oh
children.
my God.
What else do the Rams not need? And then also too, they released Deshaun Jackson after they couldn't find a trade partner. Derrick Henry got his foot surgery. There's no timetable for his return. If you have Derrick Henry in your fantasy football team, my thoughts and prayers, he's on mine. And that hurts. That's their identity. I feel like the Titans, in my personal opinion, are just running Derrick Henry into the ground. And this is where, if you're Tennessee, well, maybe we need to develop the offense a little bit more, where we're taking some of the pressure off Derrick Henry. One would think they would have thought that by now. So Jameis Winston, like I said, suffered ACL and also MCL damage. According to NFL.com, he will miss the remainder of the season. That was confirmed by Sean Payton. How it happened was he was dragged by, I think it was Devin White in the second quarter, where his left knee bent inward on a horse collar tackle. So that sucks. Now you're down two quarterbacks. So just for the record, I would not sign Cam Newton. I'm not doing that. No disrespect to Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton's a great player, but Cam Newton made it very clear. He does not want to be a backup. And Cam Newton has to realize that, okay, if I need to be if a team needs me to be a backup, so be it. I mean, we can say what we want. I understand he didn't have all the pieces in New England. I know he helped them. He won this against, but he's not the same player. When it just amazes me that everyone's saying we need to have Cam Newton back in the league, and some of these you got to understand. If the Washington football team, for example, signed Cam Newton, he's going to need at least 2-3 games to get comfortable with teammates, playbook, all that. His adjustment period is going to be like this. So you're going to sign a guy who has to learn everything on the fly. That's why I just don't really see where he would fit. And especially when he's made it clear, I don't want to be a backup. So Cam Newton also, he has to look himself in the mirror and understand that, okay, maybe I need to change my approach differently. Look at Carmelo Anthony, for example. He did that. Where he said, okay, you know what? Maybe for me, I'm not a starter, but I want to contribute to a team in any way that I can. I thought in Houston it wasn't going to work. But Cam Newton has to go, okay, you know what? I'm not the same starter. But if a team needs me to come in the situation, just be a backup, I'm okay with that. Because say what you want. The Jets could have signed him, and they're comfortable right now with Mike Wright until Zach Wilson comes back. Taysom Hill may come back at some point, but it's not that Cam Newton is a head case. It's just, in my personal opinion, I don't think he's not going to fit certain systems. And also, too, I feel like Cam Newton has to put his pride to the side. And I just don't think that's something he's willing to do. I just don't see it. I just don't see that. So the Dolphins pulled out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Again, I have been publicly on the record saying how I feel about that. Melvin Ingram got traded to the Chiefs. I think it's a big help for them. Marlon Mack didn't get traded, but Tua, I don't know. I feel bad for Tua, but at the same time, this is what. Y'all let me know your thoughts with the NFL news. We're transitioning to basketball. The Washington Wizards. Come and recap 2 games. So we lost a couple nights ago. We lost to the Atlanta Hawks. 118-111. Biggest thing, Atlanta shot us out the gym. Trae Young had 26 points. Clint Capella had double-double. We really struggled to pull within double digits, particularly with it when it was 105-94. I think the biggest thing was the ball movement for Atlanta. Execution-wise, I mean, defensively, I think we're still. I think you just got to give it to Atlanta. I think Atlanta just was coming after we beat them. I think they were ready for us. I just didn't like the fact that at points, play man defense, then play zone. And particularly when it came to third quarter, Contavious Caldwell-Pope's 3-point play, which we made it, 75-60, and that's when Wes Unseld called a timeout. Hawks are a good team, but like I said, we're still early. As far as my list for the top 16 teams, I'm gonna wait till game around 15, game 20. But that's when you really get to see what these teams are made of. You really do. So the Washington Wizards play the Toronto Raptors. Pascal Siakam is still not going to be out. It's still out, excuse me. So obviously Scotty Barnes and OG Anunoby have stepped up, in my personal opinion. Toronto's coming in this game, they're 5-3. They're shooting 42%, while letting their opponents shoot 44%. The biggest thing for Washington, we cannot let Toronto be efficient, especially from three. Since the trade for Russell Westbrook, Kyle Kuzma, he's not just a good shooter, but he's a good rebounder. You know, we're 5-2 on the year so far. And the notes, and I pulled up some stats. We have a offensive rating of 108 and a defensive rating of 106, while we've allowed 109 points per game, and we're scoring 112. So Washington, to me, they're going to have to stretch the floor and slash. To me, they're going to have to go at Toronto aggressively, not and be consistent with the shooting. We're coming in this game, we're shooting under 33%. So you can tell that we still need some work when it comes to shooting. That's where I'm relying on a guy like Bradley Beal. He's averaging 24. So I coming in this game, Toronto has a good defensive presence. Washington has better scoring. And Scotty Barnes, from what I understand, he's maybe doubtful to play. So I'm going to say the Washington Wizards pull this one out 97-85.
Guaranteed.
Let's see. What's going on around the NBA? So I do have my top 75 list ready for y'all. Real quick, just want to see some things around the NBA. Chris Paul passed Steve Nash. He's now number 3 in all-time assist list. Congratulations. Kevin Love is entered the NBA's health and protocols. He'll be out indefinitely. What else? The offensively around the league has really started to change, especially with the new foul call. I was reading this article, right? And particularly when it comes to shooting, I think it's 30-something%. Between last year, right, an NBA team averages 112 points, 46% from the field, 36% from three. This year, 106 points so far, 44%, 34% from three. Now, again, we're still early in the season, but the rule changes are actually kind of benefiting the league a little bit because there are guys that look for foul calls, and it actually is annoying, like James Harden, for example, who, in my personal opinion, has been looking really average lately. I know he had his first triple-double of the season, but I feel like the rule change is benefiting. I really do. But I've also seen guys like Damian Lillard struggle. I know Kawhi hasn't played, and Kyrie and Zion. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts. What do you guys think of the rule changes? You think it's better for the league, or is it about the same? Y'all let me know. So, transitioning to baseball, congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
Won their first World Series title since 1995. The final score was 7-0. Say what you want. Momentum, in my personal opinion, is big in sports. The Braves, ever since the All-Star break, have written it. Rode the momentum. Losing Ronald Acuna Jr., getting acquisition pieces like Jorge Soler, Adam Duvall, Jock Peterson. Those guys stepped up. And this Brave team, like, wow, really won the World Series. Freddie Freeman got his first ring. I'm happy for Freddie Freeman. I'm one of his biggest fans. He's one of my favorite first basemen. He's going on now into the offseason. Someone's probably going to pay him some handsomely. I hope he stays in Atlanta. Ozzie Albies has had a good year. Austin Riley. But that pitching staff, man. They deserve it. I also too you got to give Houston Astros credit. Again, say what you want about them. I don't condone the cheating. It was said at some point in the game that the owner, Jim Crane, I think that's his name, asked, well, who should I hire? He asked Buck Showalter, well, who should I hire? The answer was Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker, say what you want. His teams always stay competitive, and he took the challenge. He got this team to the World Series. Last year, they lost the Game 7 to Tampa Bay. I mean, I think the team is still. I finished up some work. I've been watching in. I got you. My bad earlier. Oh no, appreciate it. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I'm a little looking at their future. Carlos Correa is a free agent. Zach Greinke, this is probably his last year. I don't know what Justin Verlander is going to look like. That Houston team, in my personal opinion, is not a World Series built if Correa leaves. I don't think it's the end of baseball in Houston personally. I don't think they are a contender without Correa. I mean, if they lose him, they let Springer walk to go to Toronto. But if they let Correa leave, that stings personally. So both teams have some things to figure out. I mean, you can't pay everybody. It was kind of funny, again, like looking at this team, the Astros, you gotta just give them their respect. They both teams had an agenda. So Jorge Soler was MVP, World Series MVP. Brian Snitker has been with the team since 1977. Wow, so that's like, wow. Now he's a champion. Now he's a champion. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. I still think they should have more. I think besides 95, they should have multiple rings. But Um, 26 years. Man. That'll be the Baltimore Orioles in a couple years, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be the Baltimore Orioles.
Guaranteed.
So congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. Well deserved. Well deserved for the city. Well deserved. Really quick, I kind of do want to go back. I messed up on. I said I had my all-time 75 greatest list. So let me go ahead and share that, and then we're going to go into the next topic. All right. So this is my list. Top 75 players. And just for the record, I didn't number this, but the first top 3 players, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, those are my top 3 players. So the only kind of really adjustment, I highlighted Anthony Davis's name. I think Dwight Howard should have been on this list before Anthony Davis. But I kind of understand, and then I kind of get it, but I don't get it at the same time. I think how it transpired, especially when he left Orlando to go to LA. I think we're talking post-Orlando. I think we were all looking at him to be better. But this list was subjective. I thought the list was fair. I mean, Tony Parker, I would have considered. Pau Gasol. I was actually can I take off Kawhi Leonard, but I think this list is fair. I really do. But I think again, Dikembe, Alex English, Tony Parker, they're all going to be in that next 25. I can't see anybody being snubbed off the next, will be especially 25 years from now. Being off that list, I think you gotta put a Tony Parker, Powell, Tracy McGrady, Dikembe, Klay Thompson. But again, this list is all subjective. Like I said, I think the list was fair. I think the only one I would take out was Anthony Davis. Maybe Chris Paul, but I would probably replace Chris Paul with Tony Parker. Kawhi, I'd probably replace him with T-Mac. The big ticket before Dikembe, it's tough. It really is. It really is tough. But, I mean, that was my top 75 list. Let me know your thoughts on that. Last topic before we get into the tidbit of what I want to talk about. So we're officially kind of in the off season, and I've noticed a couple things. There are a lot of ladies that didn't go overseas, and I think some of it is all due to social media endorsements and yeah, that's what I've noticed. So I can't really wait to see what the free agency brings. Free agency starts in January. So I think that'll be interesting to see. Chelsea Gray is now going to be on the ACC network. I don't know what she's covering. Basketball. Yeah, that's what she's doing. A couple people overseas I've been following. I found out that Kalani Brown plays for a team where they're playing her like 35, 40 minutes, and she's not getting any day off. Can't wait for you to have that community tab so you can post the list. Oh, for sure. I can't wait. We're almost there. We are almost there. Almost there, Hendrix, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no days off. Practicing twice a day. That's risking injury. Unfortunately, when they go overseas, they are risking something. But this is exactly what I've been trying to point out. They're going overseas, and stuff like this is happening. That's not good. So, I think she can. Oh God, water. Sorry. I hope at some point she can. We'll see. That's what's going on in the league right now that I know of. I hope to have Rashard Miller get on the podcast at some point. I reached out to him; he would join me soon. But that's all that's going right now in the offseason because everyone's really kind of preparing for free agency and the draft. And also, too, we're kind of still talking about Oakland getting a team. But for right now, pretty much is over. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But last topic of the night. I'm going to give my condolences and prayers to Ernie Johnson's family. Lost their son, Michael Johnson, passed away. The age of 33. He had a muscular disorder. Wow, that was shocking. We all know the man that Ernie Johnson is. He's been through a lot, with his battle, his deal with his health issues, but his story is so amazing. Coming from Romania, and again, muscular dystrophy, which causes respiratory issues, and he had to use a respirator. He was one of 4 kids that they adopted. First and foremost, for anyone to take on that kind of task in life, that kind of responsibility, that's amazing. That you sacrifice for them to give them a better life that they may not have in other places. And what Ernie and his wife Sherilyn did, that's amazing. They gave him the best life that he could possibly have. There's not that many people you can say that do those kind of things. And it's tough dealing with anyone in that kind of situation. Because now we have to if there's a mod in here, could you handle that, please? Thank you. Ernie Johnson and his family has people to lean on. And now for going forward, take the time that he needs. Thank you. I appreciate that. And That's the biggest thing. I think when you lose anyone in your family or when you're going through something in life, take the time you need. Don't rush, because it's not, you just don't really, you don't want to come back and too fast. You want to make sure that, one, you're straight, your family's straight, and he's got the whole, basketball is not going anywhere. The fans aren't going anywhere. Family comes first, and yourself comes first for your mental health. And I just want to send my thoughts and prayers to Ernie and his family for sure. That's tough, especially being a caregiver and that situation. To sacrifice, again, their life to make another person's life amazing. God will reward you handsomely going forward. So I'm going to play a video, and that's going to end the podcast. So y'all check this out.
Let me say something about this picture. Number one, my wife both loves this picture and hates this picture because she was having a bad hair year. But see, when we decided to add to our family through adoption, she went to Romania having no idea what was going to happen, who she was going to bring back, if anybody she was going to bring back. All we did was we wanted to give some kid a chance that he didn't have or she didn't have. And so this guy is almost 3 years old and had been outside one day in his life, and that was the day he was found abandoned in a park at birth. He'd been warehoused in this Romanian orphanage. And the woman at the orphanage who handed Michael to Cheryl, first child that Cheryl laid eyes on. You know what she said to Cheryl? Don't take this boy, he's no good. Don't take this boy, he's no good. And you wonder, as Cheryl brings Michael home, and we take him to the doctor, and he goes to a bunch of specialists because the child she's holding right there couldn't walk, couldn't talk, just made noises. Had a foot that was totally turned in. And I remember what my wife said on the phone. It was that this guy's so much more than we can handle. But I can't imagine going through the rest of my life wondering what happened to that blonde-haired boy in that orphanage. And when they bring him home and he gets diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, and now he's 3 years old and he's got this fatal disease, and you don't know what you're going to do and how you're going to handle that. And you wonder, where's the value? Each was this woman who said, don't take this boy, he's no good. And what's amazing is the value reveals itself. And so when Michael got up to high school, he's in a wheelchair, and a basketball coach named Phil Beaulier is at Mill Creek High School. And Phil Beaulier hears Michael's wheelchair go into a room, and then he follows him in there, and he just meets Michael, and he was like, and the teacher's like, well, yeah, this is Michael Johnson, he's got muscular dystrophy, and he's a little bit autistic. He's got this incredible memory. He never forgets cars and that kind of thing, that what you drive. And so Phil tells Michael what kind of car he drives, and Michael digs that. And then Phil turns to leave, and Michael says, "Love you too, Coach." Coach turns around and says, "What?" And the teacher says, "He says that to everybody. Love you too." And he does, even if you don't say it to him first. That's always been that way. And he says, "Well, Phil Beaulieu, I didn't know him at all. He didn't know me. He calls me and says, I want your son on my basketball team because I want him to teach my players maximum effort, because I know every ounce of strength he's got he uses to drive this chair. And I want him to teach a heart for others, because this love you too thing just floors me." And he said, "Sure, you want him on your team, but realize he's in a wheelchair and he's not going to be able to do much for you offensively." He said, "No, he's going to be my 5-foot tall impact player with no vertical leap, because I just want my players hanging around this guy." And so while Phil Beaulieu is teaching and coaching, he's teaching his classes. He'll just bring up in the middle of it, "I want to tell you all a story today just about a buddy of mine named Michael Johnson. And he loves to say love you too." And he says, "And you know what this sign is? This is I love you in sign language. And if you tip your index finger to the other person, it means love you too." So Phil is teaching this to thousands of kids at Mill Creek High School, while Michael is part of that team and sitting behind the bench during games. And they had senior night at Mill Creek High School. Michael did this for 3 or 4 years. And on senior night, all the players came out. They got a blanket with the Mill Creek logo on it, their name on it. Seniors, everybody clapped. The last guy they called out was Michael. And he gets out there, and they give him his blanket and stuff. And the crowd cheers, and I look up in the student section, and they're standing like this. Don't take, boy's no good. He had done more through that point in his life and impacted more folks than I could ever hope to, because there is value inside everybody. May not be able to do things the way we all do it. May have a different strength and different weakness and that kind of thing, but there's always value. Find it. Find it in those you work with. Don't stress out over the things that bug you. Find that value and latch on to it. See that number 23 right there? 2 down from Michael. Big kid. Got married a couple months ago. Said, I gotta have Michael at my wedding. Don't take. Boy's no good. Don't believe everything you hear. There's value in everybody. And there's value in this room that you can't even put a number on. So proud to be in this number with you all. No matter how tough the times can get, we'll always be Turner. Thank you.
All right. Rest in peace, Michael Johnson. I know I'm going to get a copyright strike for that, but not a copyright claim for playing it, but I thought it was necessary to play it. just giving thoughts and prayers. And it's tough. Loss of a loved one is tough, especially in that kind of situation when you care for them and you give someone the life like that they may never they would never have. I mean, his story is just amazing, and I think there's a piece of that we could all learn from. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude episode 8 of the podcast. I do apologize for the runny nose. That will never happen again. Allergies have been acting up a little bit today. So definitely apologizing for that. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share the podcast. Thank you, Hendrix, for being in here. Shout out to Sean Spencer for being in here. Appreciate it. See a couple people are watching it. I will see you guys in the next episode. Hope you guys have a great day. Good night. Get some sleep. Count your blessings. And let's make tomorrow a better day. Peace, damn y'all.
First of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and telling me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys that they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.